I want to add my voice in thanking the founders of this museum for the important work that you do, the professional staff, certainly the visionaries, because this place is hallowed ground. And memory, as you've heard, is becoming more and more important. And it has to become more and more active and less passive. As the survivors depart one by one an hour, we will be confronting a reality not too far from now, as Mayor Garcetti just mentioned so powerfully, where we won't have the first-hand accounts, and memory will have to compete in the noise in this world, in generations focused more on the I than on the we, and there's no I in the word Holocaust. We need to find ways to continue the lesson, to continue the memory, and to make sure that Yizkor, to remember, is not passive, but that it's active. Active for us as Jews, active for us as human beings in fighting racial intolerance, ethnic intolerance, wherever we see it, because that's where it began. And it happened to us. The unthinkable happened, and it happened to us. And when we think about the tragedy of 1 million Jewish children systematically killed, murdered in the Holocaust, 1 million out of the 6 million, and what those millions would mean today, not just for us, not just for the state of Israel, not just for Jewish communities around the world, but for humanity, we realize the extent of the tragedy and the loss. This year we commemorate 70 years since 1944, since the beginning of the deportations of Hungarian Jewry. This was very late in the war. This was years after whole Jewish communities were uprooted and liquidated. This was already at the time when the Nazi regime was beginning to crumble, when it was suffering crushing blows on the various fronts, when the Allied forces were closing in from east and from west. Yet it didn't stop the Nazi extermination machine. And in 2 months, in the spring of 1944, 70 years ago, almost 500,000 Hungarian Jews were removed from their homes and from Hungary and sent to Auschwitz. It is those memories, those searing, bitter, and painful memories of that loss that is with us today and has to continue to the next generations. It's already been mentioned that we don't live in a world of peace today, that we look around us and we see anti-Semitism rearing its head in Europe. And if you look at surveys of European Jews, you'll see that 3/4 of European Jews surveyed say that they themselves today in 2014 have experienced acts of anti-Semitism. That 1/4 are afraid to wear this in public. And that 1/3 are afraid that it will happen again. We look at the situation in Ukraine, at the firebombing of synagogues, at leaflets calling on Jews to register. We look at the situation around the world, as has been mentioned so effectively. The situation in Syria, where civilians are being gassed, not a century ago, not 70 years ago, but today. And we realize that memory and vigilance, that never again cannot be passive statements. They have to be active, we have to be vigilant, and we as the state of Israel will always be vigilant for the welfare of Jews everywhere and for the welfare of human beings everywhere. The work that we are doing to heal those Syrian refugees that are able to come to Israel surreptitiously across the border, children without parents, that is the work of Tikkun Olam that I am so very proud to represent. And this is the solemn responsibility of the state of Israel, to maintain our freedom as Jews, to uphold our freedom as Jews wherever and whenever, and to make sure that our human values are front and center in everything that we do as Jews and as human beings, because the natural state of things, as we know, can lead to the unthinkable. It is our responsibility and the importance of all of us gathered here today under this tent with our beloved surviving grandparents and great-grandparents is to continue inculcating these values and to fight every day to stop human injustice because we know where it can lead. Thank you very much.